Meeting is off.
Okay, I'm here meeting with Mark Worthington. He is one of our very popular agents in the solutions team who also uses RESO almost on almost every sale now. So thank you, Mark, for joining us. And yeah, hopefully it won't be too painful today.
No problem, thanks.
So can you tell me, Mark, how long you've been in the real estate industry?
A very long time. I actually have been with LJ Hooker, Helensvale for just on 24 years.
Wow.
So yeah, and I was with a couple of other offices prior to that, but well, 24 years will do at this stage.
Wow, and so you probably wouldn't remember a time when you weren't a real estate agent, Mark.
Another lifetime ago I was, but yeah, but for a long time, most of my life I've been a real estate agent now, yes, my working life anyway. Excellent.
So you would have seen the rises and the falls of almost every type of market.
I have seen, yeah, I sold right the way through the 90s, right the way through the 90s, which is probably some of the worst times to sell real estate you could ever sell.
Yeah.
Until it started to pick up in 2000, and then it's a few ups and downs since 2000, global financial crisis, things like that. In general, it's been quite good since then compared to the 90s anyway.
Yeah, well, that's your yardstick to measure on, so it's all up from there. So what are you finding some of the main challenges in the current market are for you?
I think the main challenge, I think most agents will tell you that the main challenge is actually having anything to sell. Once you get it listed, then you're usually guaranteed. If me and Kathy, my business partner and wife, we have what I call a 4-day program that we use for all our listings to make the most of this market.
Yeah.
And we're finding if we put the property on the market put it online on Tuesday or Wednesday, which is what we target for, by Monday afternoon or evening, the owner's signing the contract.
Wow.
So the biggest problem is actually getting the stock, because you just don't have a lot of tins of beans on the shelf, to put it mildly.
Yes.
Go from a crazy weekend to nothing to do until you get your next listing. So that's the main problem.
Yeah, right. And so you've been using RESO for quite a while now. And you've said to me previously, which is why I thought I'd get you on as well today. You're using RESO at your listing presentations quite successfully as well, aren't you, to get those listings?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm actually finding. I mean, the reality is, apart from your personality, when you go in and sit in front of any vendor, if they've had a few agents in, all agents can offer professional photography. All agents can offer realestate.com, varying degrees, you know, whether it's a premier listing or whatever. Most can offer that these days. Some are willing to do it for free, some aren't. We don't do free. I don't do free advertising. It's all vendor paid advertising. So we're all offering the same. So you need a point of difference. So I basically these days I go in. I usually will have 2 vendor reports from different properties from the RESO system.
Yep.
And I will just explain how we go through our process, and I put together a process that I feel works very well with the RESO system.
Yes.
And the way we use the RESO system, every sale is exactly the same, so nobody gets any surprises. So I just explain how we run the RESO system, what it does, and I show them the 2 results on the 2 totally different properties. And then once I finish going through RESO with them, I say the only thing these 2 properties really have in common is the marketing program, because for RESO to work properly, we need to get as many people through that front door as possible. And this marketing program is how we do this and produce the results that RESO does. I'm finding a lot more success with people that I don't already know
Right.
through explaining that. When I say don't already know, after my length of time in real estate, most of my listings, 80% of my listings are people that I've had previous contact with. So they're a lot easier to convince somebody to list with you if they already know you. The people that are just getting half a dozen agents in, I'm going to sign one up tonight and they'd had 4 agents in, and I went through the RESO program with them, exactly what I've just described. I'm going to sign them up tonight. I'd never known them. I'd never met them before last Friday.
Great.
Never met or spoken to them. So that was them being shown that, hey, we're in a hot market. Anyone can sell your property. My job is to capitalise on this market and get you the best price. And that's what I'm using RESO for. Excellent.
So do you think that that's part of that, an element of that is the trust? Like because like you said, any agent can go in and sit in front of a seller and say they're the best agent.
Exactly. Yes, you've got written proof, and the way the reports list what's happened, list where the prices started, show how many offers there are. It's not me just saying, hey, look, I'm the best negotiator in the world. You're actually showing them how you negotiate a sale. And it's not just verbally showing them, you're actually demonstrating. I even get my phone out often and I'll say, look, I can go into this phone and I can pull up any other sale. And I bring up all the RESO. I said, look, it's not just these 2 that I'm showing you. I can show you half a dozen more here where similar things happen.
Oh, excellent.
And we are talking majority of my sales at the moment. I think the lowest amount of offers was 14 on one just recently.
Wow. Yep. That's great. That's great. And how would you have managed that manually before? Like you're, 30 years in effectively, or 24 years in.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been smiling probably quite as much, Mark, running around for 14 offers.
It does make, even just taking the offers and having all the offers in one place, which is the beauty of RESO. Your offers are there. You can just at any time, like over the weekend, Saturday night when we finish making all our phone calls to everybody that's made offers on the property, because RESO basically, I had one, me and Kathy had one a couple of weeks ago. I think I spoke to you about that one. We had 160 something groups of people through on Friday night and a Saturday, half an hour Friday, half an hour Saturday. We had managed to get 160 odd people through. I can't phone 100, not even with me. We cannot phone 160 odd people for feedback.
No.
So obviously the RESO, first of all, it shows you who's registered for the property, showing interest, and then how many offers. And so obviously the first people you ring are everyone that's made an offer, just to confirm their offer, just to let them know how the RESO system is going to work, how the ranking is going to happen, when we're going to do the ranking. As I say, there's no surprise in ours. We rank twice. And we do it on a Sunday morning at 10 o'clock and a Monday at 10 o'clock, and then we close off at 4 o'clock Monday afternoon. That's our plan, and we have a set emails that go out to the buyers during the weekend explaining this to them. But obviously anyone who makes an offer gets a phone call from us, and we run through how the system works and check that they know what they're doing when they've made their offers.
Yeah, so it's a qualifying phone call anyway, isn't it?
It's just a qualifying phone call. And then the people after that you ring are obviously the people who are registered for the property and haven't yet made offers. The one I'm talking about, we had 65 offers. So again, it was even hard to ring. Yeah, that's not a normal one. But that was probably our promotional price was the owner's expectations on the property and where they wanted to sell it was probably the market. It got a lot of people through the property, and we obviously sold it for way above that, the figure that the owner was expecting. But again, 65. I mean, it was even getting hard to ring all the buyers
that had made offers.
Who'd made offers.
So,
it's a lot of work. But then again, if you'd had 65 bits of paper or emails or text messages, which is how you get a lot of your offers these days, are either on a contract, on a letter of offer, written letter of offer, or they're emailed to you, or people are texting to you, people are taking photographs of expressions of interest forms, and you just cannot manage.
Hard to keep track of it.
Whereas RESO, as I say, we do have the, you know, everything's there in one place.
Yep, that's great. So you've touched on most of the points I actually wanted to cover, which is good. Can you tell me a little bit of feedback that you get on average? Not only, so I suppose a few bits of feedback. So what's the general understanding or the general response of the process from your buyers and your underbuyer? So obviously there's going to be one person that takes out the property, that secures it at the end. Normally, you're going to get people that are pretty disgruntled. What has your process been, or what have you found the process has been, or the feedback?
Well, we found people are a lot less, you do have people that walk in that says, "Oh, are you using RESO?"
Yeah.
I feel some people are using it better than others.
Yep.
And I think it takes refining. And I'm not saying, you can remember my first few sales, I was on the phone to you most of the weekend.
Yes. That was completely fine, by the way.
Yeah. And I think we've just refined it in a way that the buyers understand. We explain it very well to them. And one of the biggest complaints that you get from buyers in this market is they walk into an open house, they're told by an agent who gives them very little information in a lot of cases, that there's already offers on the property, and they're handed a piece of paper and say, you've got to make your best and final offer, you only get one chance.
Yep.
And then some of them are lucky enough to get a phone call back or a text message to say, sorry, I've missed out. Some of them have to ring the agent because they don't even get that courtesy.
Yeah.
And they're very upset. And I meet people who have missed out on 3 or 4 properties in exactly that same way. So if you say, look, we do things slightly different. We don't rush you as a buyer. You do get the opportunity to change your offer. And you'll get the whole weekend, because we do not sell properties. We will not sell a property before both our Friday night and our Saturday open home have been completed. Sometimes I'm doing them on a Sunday as well. So until all the open homes planned for that weekend have been completed, I will not be selling this property. And it's quite good, because we actually, part of our systems, we won't allow someone to look at a house before the Friday night viewing.
Yes.
And I say to buyers when they ring up saying, can I get through early? And I say, look, no, the owner is not ready for us to show the property until Friday night. But I can guarantee you can turn up Friday or Saturday. You don't turn up at my open house to find the house has been sold to someone on other place.
Yes.
It's going to be available for you to buy it. Then when you explain to them that it will go right through the weekend, they will get an idea of where their offer sits with other people on a Sunday morning, and then they will get another indication on Monday before we announce that we close offers on Monday afternoon.
Yep.
When they know that they're going to have the whole weekend to think about what they're doing, they're a lot more comfortable, and they actually say to me, oh, well, that's a lot better. No, that's good, because the ones we've missed out on, if we'd have known there'd been so much competition, we would have made a better offer.
Yeah.
No one believes in an agent when they're saying, oh yeah, we've got lots of offers on this property.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They all think they're going into negotiation, especially if it's the first offer they've made. They all think they're going into a normal negotiation where they'll get another opportunity. They don't believe they're not going to get another opportunity, and when they don't, they're disappointed.
That's fair.
And you do, look, obviously there are people that make offers. I mean, for example, if we had a couple where we've had 28, 30 offers. And if you're suddenly find yourself ranked 28th or 27th,
yes,
some of those buyers never increase their offer, because they think, well, there's 28 people willing to pay more than this for me. I'm almost at my maximum. This isn't the property for me. So, so it helps people out that way. And I actually explain that to buyers as well. That it does give you the indication if it's not the property for you. You can make that decision, or you can make a decision whether you want to increase your offer. So with that, we get some reasonably positive feedback on
That's
that.
right. And do you find, can I just ask you, so have you ever had a situation in any of your sales where a buyer has been ranked quite low and then suddenly they've pulled their offer up pretty quick smart, like in quite a gap?
No, I've got, and this is what you never, with RESO, you never know, you know, you can't sort of say, well, these are my top three. When you first get your offers in on the Saturday morning, you're starting to get offers from the Friday night, and then Saturday afternoon, more offers coming in. You can't say, well, these are the top three, these are the people we're going to deal with, because you've got no idea.
Yeah.
People come out of nowhere sometimes.
Yep.
When they suddenly realise their offers way too low and they jump it. You can't make that decision who's going to be your best buyer until you use the system.
That's interesting.
And,
that's interesting, because I spent 14 years in residential sales, and you know, you're taught to qualify buyers, aren't you? Through the conversations you have. Has using RESO changed your perspective on how to qualify and what that qualifying process might look like?
I mean, me and Kathy do want things slightly different than a lot of people. I know there are other agents doing it, but we recommend to all our sellers, because I sell predominantly older properties.
Yeah.
In Helensvale, most properties are 25, 30-year-old plus homes.
Yeah.
So I recommend to all my vendors to get building and pest reports done prior to it going on the market. And we put those on the RESO system. So it allows people to have a look at. And you're able then to go, when you make a follow-up phone call, you say, hey, look, I see you've put a 14-day or a 7-day pest and building inspection clause. Have you actually read the building and pest report that we've got on the system? A lot of them will say, oh, no, I didn't realise. Yeah. And once the competition starts to heat up, you'd be surprised how many times that pest and building inspection clause suddenly goes.
Yes.
Because, I mean, they're not dodgy pest and building inspection reports. They're done by registered pest and building inspectors. And we just find that having that additional information as well on the system, and we have copies of the contract, copies of the rental appraisal, all of that on the system for people to look at. So they've got, and I actually had a lady the other day say to me, and she wasn't a successful buyer. It's the second property she'd made an offer on me through the RESO system. Yes. And she said, what I like about all your open homes is you have all the information on the property. Yes. It's things like that to make it easy for people to buy properties. And you can almost guarantee if you're getting compliments like that from an underbuyer who's missed out on 2 properties with you so far, that eventually when she buys something, you're going to stick in her mind as the agent she potentially calls because she really enjoyed that experience with you. Would you? Yeah. So that's fair. Yeah. No, I actually think that in this market, there's agents treating buyers very badly. And I'm not saying that we chase up every buyer, we run round after them, producing great, but we treat them with respect. With everybody at our open homes treated with respect. Every inquiry makes treated with respect. And I think the RESO system is helping us show a bit of service to people. I actually had a good one the other week. I had a property that it was a lady I sold the property to, and she wanted $540 for a property. Ended up putting it on as buyers above $519, and we got a suburb record for it at $651,000. Through the RESO system, that was 30 offers on that property, 28 or 30, I can't remember now. Unfortunately, she then tried to buy another property off me, which was in Helensvale, and she found herself on the other side of the RESO system. But she was actually very, they understood because I'd explained RESO to them in the listing. They knew what they were getting involved in. So no, they were, they missed out, and they fortunately they bought to another agent, but she's going to invite me around to the housewarming party. That's great. So she's kind of been done. Although she missed out on the RESO system, obviously she made more than $100,000 more than she wanted.
Yes.
So it worked both ways for her, and she was happy with it from both sides. So
Oh, that's not unusual. I don't think I've heard had feedback around that yet. So that's really, really good. And finally, so what advice? Obviously, there's different agents that you probably interact with both in your office and out who aren't using RESO yet. What would you say, or what do you say to them if they're thinking about it or they're asking you about RESO? How would you encourage them, or what would you, I suppose, final words to encourage them to give it a go?
You know, I honestly don't. I think if somebody's seen the system, I mean, I think there's some people scared of it.
Yeah.
Like any change, especially older salespeople. I'm not a young salesperson, obviously, but I think there are some guys that are just a little wary of it. Some people think that the buyers are going to react badly to it. But you know, all I can say is don't just jump in. Which, sorry, I did, as you're aware. I just jumped into RESO and then rang Chelsea every hour.
It's okay to do that too.
I actually, that's not the way to do it. What the best thing to do is speak to someone that uses it regularly, and plan what you're going to do. Have a plan. Don't just go ad hoc. Decide how many times you're going to rank. I mean, I've heard of people who have ranked 4 or 5 times. I don't agree with that personally. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just don't, personally, it's not what I do. I will only rank twice. That's Sunday morning and Monday morning. Only 2 times I will rank. I have slightly changed some of the RESO templates to work with what I do.
Good.
Because one of the things that I send out is just a warning when we're closing offers. Hey, and it basically says something like, you know, it's using your offer closing letter, but it said you may have been ranked very highly, i.e. number 1, but that does not stop someone below you from basically leapfrogging your offer. You know, I've put things in like that into place. So we'll send out the RESO invite obviously goes out after every open home. Then we will send a notification they're going to be ranked. Then we send another notification to let them know when we're going to be meeting with the owner, which is always Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
And we let them, and then there's another notification of the final ranking, and then there's a notification of the closing offers. It's the same one. It makes life easy for me because I know each time what I'm sending out and when I'm sending it out. So as I said, we've now got a plan that we work to and do that. That is the advice. If you make yourself a plan, whether it's my plan or one you've developed, I mean, if you feel as an agent that you want to rank 5 times, that's fair enough. But make the buyers aware that that's what you're going to do. Don't surprise them by keep ranking. Make sure they're aware of how many rankings there's going to be. And it works, it works smoothly. It's nothing to be scared of. And there's nothing easier than sitting on a Saturday evening and just opening your phone up and looking at all your offers and being able to click on each offer and see exactly what the terms and conditions of each offer is, and just know where things are going. See your offers changing on the system. It's so much straightforward. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I will end the recording here, but thank you very much. Hold on.
Oh.